Welcome once again to Formula League. Here we are at the Trial Mountain Circuit here today for the United States Grand Prix. And Q1 is underway. We saw a few stalls here and there. Hopefully that will not remain relevant to the race later on. Some drivers decided to get off to a slower start, Giruni and Mart keeping in behind to get a bit of a faster start. There's 11 drivers here at Trial Mountain today. Only 5 of them can get through to Q2 as Joe crosses the line for the first flyer, and he is currently on provisionally in first. It is him, Mart with a fast lap. Him, Mart, Urist, Antti and Vlad currently looking to be through into Q2, but we've still got 3 out of 4 minutes left here in the Sierra Nevada mountains. See now as they cross the line, Joe hits us with a 31.12, Kraft 31.08, Suicide with a great time of 31.67. Then it's the two Carpathians Peaks currently in P4 and P5. Giruni with the slowest lap time at 38.42 at the current moment. Mart recharging currently, and so is Giruni. And there they go. Some drivers crossing the line. Urist goes 5th fastest. Matimar also improves, so does Corvid. Antti currently at 33.10, looking at P9 in qualifying. Kraft with a recharge lap, and same for Joe. Vlado 2 at the helm of this pack right now. And what time can he get? It looks like Giruni goes 3rd fastest. Vlado 204 goes 4th fastest. Mart is 5th fastest with 31.60. Antti improves to 31.62. That's just 200ths away from getting into Q2. Kraft 30.97 first, sub 31, and Joe cannot match that. Suicide once again with 31.67. Pumpkin improves to 31.73, and that is a tight battle for the P5 spot. Let's take a look. Mart is in 5th fastest currently, and Corvid improves to 2nd fastest, 31 flat. Mart is knocked out there. 200s behind him is Antti, 500s behind Antti is Suicide, 600s behind him is Pumpkin. So it's a very tight from P6 to P9. Joe improves to 30.95 now. See Vlad about to cross the line as the final minute. Vlad improves. No, he matches the 31.33. Kraft does not improve. Antti does not improve. Joe will be next across the line. Oh, he's recharging. Urist does not improve, 210 slower than his personal best. Vlado 204 will make it 8 laps for Q1 as he crosses the line to start lap 8. Antti improves to 31.38. It's not enough to get into the top 5, but he is P6 currently. Kraft looks to have improved to 30.93. I think Kraft, Joe and Corvid, the 3 C's, look more than set to get into Q2. We see some shoveling. Pumpkin 7th fastest. Urist at his own track currently 10th fastest. And Vlado 204 finishes the qualifying session. Then it's Antti. Then it is Matimar and Corvid. This final lap. Pumpkin still running. Currently it looks to be Kraft, Joe, Corvid, Giruni and Vlado 204 to get into Q2. Pumpkin does not improve. Suicide doesn't, but he did improve earlier to a 31.58. Joe goes a bit wide. and he sets a 31.27. Urist with 31.88. He does improve, but it's not enough to get a higher position. Kraft will be the next one across the line. Will he improve on his 30.93? It looks unlikely. It's a 31.50, and Girouni does not improve either. Mart is the final one, and he recharges and he sets out for the flying lap, but I think he's not got enough time. He's got 26 seconds as he crosses the line, so I don't think that is enough time for him to finish lap 8. Looks like he'll be starting from P9 with a time of 31.60. And other than Matimar, who's starting from 11th, every single other driver is within a second from the fastest lap in Q1, so that is quite impressive. It is Kraft with a time of 30.93 gets through Joe, time of 30.95, then it's Corvid 31 flat, Girouni 31.30, and Vlado 204 31.33. Those are the 5 drivers through into Q2. Anti, just by 500s missing out on Q2, will start from 6th. Behind him is the other Carpathians Peak driver, Pumpkin starting from 7th, Suicide starting from 8th, Mark Andrews from 9th with a time of 31.60, Urus starts from 10th, and Matimar 46 will start from 11th with a time of... Here we go for second round of qualifying. Only 5 drivers have a shot at pole position, and it looks like Kraft and Girouni both stalled, but they may have just not accelerated. Well, Girouni's definitely shown that tactic in the past, to just stay behind for the opening lap of the qualifying session. However, Joe, Corvid and Vlad are all at the front here, looking to get an early start on the flying lap. Warm up really quickly, as it's only 3 minutes for them to set the fastest lap they can to get the pole position, to get as high a grid spot as they possibly can. Everyone crosses the line right now. After the first lap is Vlado 204 on provisional pole position, but he's dropped back behind Joe and Corvid. Joe and Corvid both deploying the majority of their boost on that back straight. So is Girouni, but it looks like Kraft and Vlad have both decided not to, so they might be looking for a later flying lap. And it's 30.73 from Charge JT, a 31.23 from Corvid, a 32.72 from Vlad. Kraft does not improve, and neither does Girouni. They're both looking at some recharging before they get on a flying lap. Joe sets a time of 30.73, that's just 100th slower than the fastest time in free practice, which was also set by Joe, which was a 30.72, of course 100 slower than that. And now on his recharge lap he sets a 32.23. Vlado 204 on another flyer, 31.22, 100 faster than Corvid, but can he keep it? Kraft improves only to 31.45 on his flyer. Now it looks like Girouni is on a flying lap, and it's the final minute of the qualifying session. This one really just goes away, and Girouni improves to 31.48. That's not enough to place him higher than 5th. Joe on a recharge lap, so is Vlad, and now they're both starting flying laps. Corvid as well. Kraft behind recharging, and so is Girouni. And meanwhile we've got Joe, Vlad and Corvid currently the front 3 on their flying laps. Joe not deploying any boost on the back straight, so it looks like he's waiting for the next lap. However, Vlado 204 and Corvid both have deployed. And here it goes. Joe once again starts off. Vlado 204 only 31.90. Corvid improves 30.90. A lap a second faster than Vlad's. And now Kraft and Girouni. Kraft not deploying any boost on the back straight. It might be a good sign of telling when someone's on a flyer or not. Joe to cross the line. I don't think anyone can challenge that lap time as provisional pole. Joe himself gets a 30.85 and finishes the qualifying session. Vlado 204 cannot improve further, neither can Corvid. And now it's all down to Kraft and Girouni. Girouni again goes 31.55, only 5th fastest. Kraft now on his flying lap. Can he make up some positions? Here he is on the final slight chicane, on the final straight. He goes 30.95, only 3rd fastest for him, and he will be starting from 3rd behind Joe and Corvid. What about Girouni? Can he improve? No, it's a 33.12. And we've got Charge JT starting from pole position, I believe, yet again. A second race in a row. Corvid starts from the front row, then it's Kraft. Vlado 204 will start from 4th, followed by Girouni. Anti starts from 6th. Pumpkin, Suicide, Mart, Urist, and Matty as... A lot of drivers starting in softs, some on mediums, and away we go. Girouni with a big stall, and it looks like he's kept Pumpkin behind him as a result, who was not prepared for that. The two Blue Blizzards both opting for the hards. Joe and Corvid with a getaway. Kraft also looked to have stalled. Mart Andres is up into 4th. Vlado 204 struggling to force himself past. Anti, great start from Matty, looks like 7th for him right now, but he's at the back of this big softs pack, and looks like Vlad and Mart got into some issues there, and Matty goes a bit wide, not enough on the brakes, and forces Mart out wide as well. Urist and Suicide and Girouni all will look to profit quite a bit from being on the hard, but Suicide goes deep into the grass there, and Pumpkin is through into 10th. Kraft looks to be fighting for the lead of the race. On his screen, he might be ahead in 1st, but currently he is behind Corvid and just ahead of Joe, who is on the mediums, so he's looking to go for a bit of an overcut, getting some slipstream from the softs users. Goes past Kraft now. Now he is behind Corvid. Fastest lap, Mattimar, who's currently running in 6th, looking for a move on the outside of Vlado 204, makes it happen. They go into a lag rocket, and Mattimar loses the most time out of it. Anti, just quietly trying to survive here, was in 4th, now in 5th as Vlad boosts past. Mart and him get into a lag rocket as well. Anti goes into the grass. Mattimar a bit late on the brakes. Anti, it's just chaos here in the midfield. Corvid has dropped back as well. It looks like he might have gotten into some incident considering the high ping, and he is still at the lead of this big pack, however, still looking to hold on to podium position and catch Joe. Kraft, now whether it's on his perspective or not, is definitely into the lead of the race. Joe follows him, then it's Corvid. Vlad again, very wide. I don't know if something happened between him and Matty, but it did not look like it. Now he is fighting Anti and Mart. Matty through into 4th. Urist still holding on to the back of this crazy softs pack, well, mostly just Vlad, but now another crash, and Mart is back behind Vlad and Urist. Urist on the hards. Alternative strategy, will it work out? Girouni has been on the back foot since the race started, currently down in 8th. He started in 5th, but he is on the hards, and that is the most important part. Kraft looking to get away. Joe's on the mediums, so he doesn't have that straight line speed to easily catch up to Kraft. He's got to be at least as fast as Kraft, be faster than him to slowly catch up to him. Corvid is behind him, looking to struggle to overtake. Mattimar holding down 4th for now. Him and Anti look to have detached from the pack. Anti a bit off the racing line, but then after him is Girouni up in 6th with the hards, and it looks like Vlad and Mart have both decided to pit. Vlad onto a set of hards, Mart onto another set of softs, and he is quite far behind at the current moment. Might have been a crash involved. Mattimar and Corvid both into the pits. Anti stays out on the softs, so does Kraft. It's been it's the 7th lap, so they pitted after 6 laps of softs. Kraft looking confident to make it at least 7, boosts his way, is still ahead of Joe at the current moment, who's on the mediums, looking for a move soon. Cloudy weather right now, no rain brought forecast yet. Kraft into the pits. Joe inherits the lead of the race. Antti into the pits as well, and look at that, Girouni is all the way up into second. However, he is 4 seconds behind Charge JT. Then it's Eurus and Suicide currently in third and fourth. If rain were to come right now, it would really shake up the grid. Eurus forces Suicide a bit into the grass, then goes into the grass himself. Not the greatest of moves, but now he is forced wide by Corvid, looking to battle him for this position. Corvid is on fresher tires and fresh mediums, and he's sticking in front. Charge AT into the pits. Girouni still on those out on those hards, and Charge AT joins this crazy fray, and he drops back very far behind Corvid and Kraft. Despite being on the mediums, it looks like the overcut didn't work. Suicide and Matty in a crash. Joe hits the back of Matty there. It's Corvid and Kraft currently chasing Girouni for that lead. Girouni yet to pit off of those hard tires, but he's looking to not struggle too much so far. Of course, he is still getting gained on quite quickly, but he stays out for another lap. And Eurus at the back of Kraft and Corvid, looking to just take that slipstream. Kraft tries to get past Corvid, and now he succeeds in getting past Corvid. We're 10 laps out of 43. Eurus looks to have been shunted out wide as he now gets caught up to by this absolute death pack. Mostly drivers in hards and mediums. Suicide has yet to pit, and he is looking to lose quite some time through that. And Pumpkin has stopped in the pits. It looks like his race may be over. He thanks Girouni and he leaves the race. Girouni and Eurus now pit off of the hards. Suicide still stays out. Kraft is into the lead of the race. Then it's Corvid. Joe is looking to catch them both after losing some time after pitting, and it's Vlad 0204 on his tail and Matimar close behind, both of them running on the hards after having pitted off of the, I believe, softs at the start. And for Vlad, it certainly has been the correct choice, I believe. Suicide still stays out on the hards after 11 laps. Wants to get lucky here. Mart is on worn out softs, and Antti overtakes him on fairly fresh mediums, but Mart looks for a way down the inside, backs out of it, looks for another way down the inside after Antti's mistake, doesn't get through, and Girouni gets in front of him. Girouni's on fresh hards now. Kraft running in a race of his own pretty much now, 2 seconds, nearly 3 ahead of Charge JT, who is still leading Matimar away. Corvid looking to get past. He's on fairly worn mediums, more worn mediums than Charge JT's, but now he's also struggling with Matty up ahead, running on those hards after a good start, trying to keep as good a position as he can through slipstream and through keeping that grip, of course, thanks to the hards. But he makes a mistake now, and it looks like he's lost Charge JT's slip, looking to boost his way back into it, perhaps. All three drivers deploying their boost, and now Corvid forcing his way through. Matimar tries to challenge him. It does not work out. He touches the grass, and he might even lose Corvid's slipstream now if he's not careful. Charge JT now catching Kraft slightly, as Kraft's softs have once again fallen off after the 7th lap, and I believe he is into the pits right now. Yes, he is, and it's Charge JT into the lead of the race, and Corvid is also into the pits. Matimar up into second. Kraft onto softs again. Corvid onto mediums. Vlad also pits. He's onto another set of hards. Girouni promoted up to 6th. Corvid is down to 5th after the second pit stop. Antti is up into 4th, but he's on fairly worn mediums. Still looking to challenge Corvid side by side. It relents now. Looks for some slipstream. It's Charge JT in the lead of the race. Kraft with the fastest lap, only a 31.73. So tire wear can probably quite affect the fastest lap times we can see here. Also, the whole aspect of chaos. Let's take a look at this pack. Vlado 204 and Eurus and Girouni. Eurus forced wide, and now Girouni looking to get a piece of that action, boosts his way through trying to get ahead, and he has just slightly more boost than Eurus, but not enough to get a car length ahead. Anti now makes a crucial mistake, loses 3 possessions. Eurus dive bombs down the inside, manages to still keep it on the track, not force anyone off, but that was a rescue maneuver. Matimar is now into the pits for the 2nd time, and he's up into 4th. Goes wide, lets Vlado 2 through, then goes down the inside though, and then he hits the grass, and Vlado 2 is indeed through. And Matimar is in 5th. Eurus now boosts his way in front of Girini again. Girini wants to be in front. Both of them quite squabbling over this. They might lose Mati and Vlad up ahead if one of them does not decide to just stay behind. Anti currently staying behind. His mediums are very, very dead right now, but he is looking to try and get this slipstream to work his advantage, but now he brakes quite hard. And he is looking to lose the back of Eurus and Girini soon. So he's got to watch out. Tries to boost his way past Girini. I think he should be into the pits this lap. I don't think he can make it another lap, as he just takes a turn and he's immediately even outside the slip of Jeru, and Suicide and Mart behind looking to catch him. Jeru goes wide. I don't think that was forced. Mart into the pits, and so is Anti. Anti onto the set of hards. Mart as well. Kraft still into the lead of the race. His soft's only strat so far seems to be working quite alright. Charge GT on the mediums and Corvid behind him on the mediums as well. Driving close together, I believe Corvid is in Joe's slipstream, but they aren't quick enough to catch Kraft. Vlado 204 currently in 4th, then it's Matimar behind him. He's got full tank of boost, but he's still sticking behind Vlado 204, who has barely any. Eurus has seemed to find a temporary escape from the chaos as Girini enters the pits and decides to end the race there as well in 10th. In a points position, to be fair, so that will have to be looked at. Kraft, where were we with Eurus? Yes, he's found at least a temporary respite from all the battling, and he's just driving by himself and into the pits now. Will he go for another set of hards? Suicide now up into 6. Eurus goes onto a set of mediums. Sunny is announced again. We've not seen any rain so far here in Sierra Nevada. Anti asking for a switch with Eurus, and Eurus is in front now, so I believe that was to get Eurus in front. Mart is also in this little pack, and they'll be hoping for Eurus to help them along. Kraft pits for another set of softs. This time he took the softs 8 laps instead of 7. So he's looking for undercuts. Overcuts. Well, he is still undercutting Joe and Corvid because they are on mediums and they are pitting later than him. Matty's now back in front of Vlad. He is on fresher hards. It's looking like Vlad for now wants to just slipstream Matty and reap the benefit. Corvid is into the pits. Joe is not. He's got fresher mediums, I would estimate, by about 2 laps, and he's into the lead of the race. Then is Kraft. Then Corvid comes out, unfortunately for him, right with Matty and Vlad, who are not very willing to let him through, but eventually he does just force himself through. And now they got a fight to keep his slipstream. Kraft with a fastest lap of 31.23 now. Let's take a look down the field. Oh, Joe's into the pits off of the mediums onto a set of hards. He exits the pits. Will he exit ahead of the pack of 3 cars? He will exit behind Corvid but ahead of Matty and Vlad, and he will look to just slipstream Corvid here. This might give him a bit of an advantage to get soft space laps on the hards, as Corvid looks to try and catch Kraft on nearly pure pace alone. Matty's running in 4th, Vlad behind him in 5th. Then it is Eurus still on the mediums, leading away. This time it's Suicide and Anti instead of Anti and Mart. Suicide looks to have prioritized not pitting as much as possible. Vlado 204 pits for a new set of hards. He exits out behind this pack of 3 cars, the 2 Blue Blizzards and Anti's Garage 97 car. Suicide is really extending those hards as much as he can to maybe miss out on a pit stop here. Corvid looking to still be within this 3.5 to 4 second gap behind Kraft. It looks like he's lost a few tenths instead of gaining any. Joe's still slipstreaming behind. Then it's Matty still out on those worn hards. He might be into the pits soon. Eurus doing looks to be a solid job on the mediums. Might even have just detached himself from Anti and Suicide's just through sheer driving. Let's take a look. Anti's hards are fairly worn, Suicide's are definitely worn, and Vlad's are quite fresh. And now Matty is into the pits onto a set of fresh hards. This is 16 laps before the end. Will he finish out on the softs maybe, or will he even try and extend these hards that long? Because that was Suicide is trying. Is he trying a 2-stopper? That would be quite big. Currently he's on lap 27, so about 14 laps he's taken each set of hards perhaps, or maybe 15 for the first one, and now he's looking for 15 again. I'm not sure when he pit for the first time, but this pack is all over the place. Matimar forces Suicide out, loses Suicide the slipstream of the pack. That's quite crucial for him, as there is no way he can catch back up to the pack unless they all just crash out. Kraft is into the pits now. Joe is in front of Corvid. Corvid's into the pits as well. Joe is into the lead of the race. Suicide thanks Matimar. Kraft is into second. He's just 2.5 seconds behind Charge AT. So far, his softs only undercut strategy seems to be working. Corvid with a mixed softs medium strategy. Harder to say. He's definitely helped Charge AT out a lot on his set of hards, and now Joe will be hoping for Kraft to catch up to him before he has to pit and take some of that slipstream. Eurus, his mediums are now quite worn. He is in 4th, but the pack behind might be catching up to him soon. He pits before they get a chance to, looking to stay out in clean air, as Vlado 2, followed by Matimar. Matty on the freshest hards so far will probably look for a move in on him, as he is known to be quite impatient and he's got the freshest set of hards, so he wants to be at the front, getting as much time as possible. Anti on quite worn out hards now. Suicide has pitted for mediums, so the 2-stopper strategy has gone out the window. It looks like Eurus is onto a set of softs, looking to try and catch them quickly. Joe is still out in the lead of the race, but Kraft now really closing in on him under a second. Corvid seems to not be able to get into the zone right now. Looks like he's lost some time to Kraft and Joe ahead. Kraft is now into the lead of the race, and he tries to boost himself away, but Joe is into that slipstream, and he's going to look to make it very beneficial for himself. Matty currently in 4th, outside of Vlad, where Vlad can slip. Interesting fight between them. Anti pits for hards. I believe this might be his final stop of the race. He can definitely take, well, normally you can take hards 12 laps. Suicide has definitely taken them for longer. So Anti could probably pull it off. Suicide on those mediums might be thinking of finishing the race on the softs after this medium stint expires, as he now leads a pack of Mart and Anti. Matty now overtaken by Vlad. Vlad goes wide, touches the grass. Matty is back into the front. They've had some beef in the past in CL. They were not on very good terms after the race, but they don't seem to be fighting too aggressively with each other, just kind of slipstreaming each other and driving quite respectfully. Charge GT into the pits, ready to end on another set of hards for just 9 laps. He's taking those hards. Very interesting play. Corvid and Kraft, both on fairly worn softs, will definitely have to pit one more time Probably onto another softs. Joe boosts himself in front of Corvid. Corvid tries to stop him, but ultimately fails, and Corvid looks to be in a bit of a precarious position here. Joe just boosts away. Looks to be a P3 for him so far. Matty tries to move down the inside, doesn't have enough traction. Vlad goes into the pits 9 laps before the end. Matimar is staying out. Of course, he's got fresher hards. Urist gets through into 5th now. He's on the softs, but he will probably have to pit again as well. Suicide on the mediums will have to pit again. Looks like Anti might have a nice shot on those hards to the end if he's not planning to pit again. Vlad is now on to his final stint, a set of hards. Going to try and make an overtake on Suicide. He does go wide though and touches the grass and hits the grass again on the inside, but he still stays in front of Suicide. Suicide is not convinced to stay behind, but I don't know what happened there. That was quite something. Kraft is in really worn out softs, and he enters the pits 4 seconds ahead of Joe for his final pit stop. I believe it will be another set of softs for 7 laps. Joe into the lead of the race now. Corvid is into the pits as well to do presumably the same thing as Kraft. Corvid complains. Matimar is into the pits onto a set of softs. Urist as well to finish off on softs. Suicide is still out of the pits. Is he looking for an overcut, or is he looking to Hail Mary his way through with those mediums? Trying to fight Matimar here, but Matty's fresh softs are no match. His mediums are no match for them. Corvid is now 10 seconds behind Joe and Kraft. Might have ran into some issues, but Joe is currently in the lead of the race. However, he's less than 2 seconds in front of Kraft. I think his best bet is probably for when Kraft catches him to slipstream him to the end and try a slip overtake, as his hards will still be in quite okay condition. Kraft's softs will be struggling a lot, so it might be plausible. Matimar saying SWE, I'm not sure if he meant to say switch or if he meant to say Sue, but Sue is into the pits now onto a fresh set of softs. However, he is 4 seconds behind. Mart on fairly fresh mediums, looking to finish the race on this compound. Anti is just slipstreaming Vlad right now. Matty's behind him, looking to get past him. He's on the softs. The question is, can those softs last on the final lap? The final lap is the most important. Right now, he can't catch their slip just yet. Deploys boost, and there we go. I think he's caught it. Kraft now right behind Joe. And he's staying behind, and now he goes through. Joe lets him through on the back straight. Kraft is into the lead of the race. Corvid, however, fastest lap of the race, a 31 flat. So even though he is 11 seconds behind Kraft and Joe, he's decided to still blast it down for a lap and get that extra point, despite the race not going his way. And Kraft, meanwhile, driving just ahead of Joe, less than 3 laps to go. Matty is now in front of Vlad, but Vlad is really fighting it. And Matty trying to boost himself away, doesn't have enough boost saved up. Vlad is still into that slipstream, and Anti is close behind him as well. Anti going for that 12 lap hards will be very difficult at the end. Urist behind them slowly but surely catching up. Kraft has detached himself from Joe. Might have been a mistake made somewhere, but that more than settles it. Corvid is only 3 seconds ahead of this pack, fighting for 4th. Joe is a second behind Kraft. Kraft's softs feeling the wear now, but he deploys all his boost on the back straight, makes it 1.5 seconds gap, and he's about to start final lap on the softs. Matty still holding on to this lead for 4th in this pack. Urist close behind them, and he goes wide. Vlad goes to the inside. Joe is a second behind Kraft. To get to the back straight, Kraft once again deploying all his boost. Joe deploying all his boost. Kraft just about keeping that gap. Matty now, it's just him and Vlad left. Antti has detached himself, lost them both, and Jurist is ahead of him, and Kraft crosses the line, wins the United States Grand Prix. It's Charge AT in second. Corvid, it's not too certain that he'll be getting the podium. Matty is on a rampage right now, but he is on 7-lap old softs. And Vlado 204 goes down his inside, both of them boosting. Matty gets forced out wide. Corvid finishes third. Vlad gets a penalty. Jurist in 7th. Looks like, I thought he finished 6th. All over the place, constant chaos, and we completely missed the end there. But results screen says, well, Kraft wins, Charge JT second, no lie about that. Corvid manages to finish in third despite Matty catching him quite rapidly. Matty forced into grass by Vlad at the end. Vlad gets an in-game penalty and Matty finishes in 4th, Vlad in 5th. It looked like Jurist crossed the line before Antti. That will have to be looked at. It looks like Antti 6th and Jurist 7th, but we'll look at that. Suicide finishes 8th, Mar Andries 9th. Girini does not finish, but he is classified in 10th, so that will also be considered. Pumpkin did not finish either, classified in 11th. That was the United States Grand Prix, and we'll see you next week for the second stint of our United States doubleheader, the Californian Grand Prix at Laguna Seca. We'll see you then.